Motion. No separate discussion of these items will occur unless a council member requests the item to be removed from the consent agenda. If an item is removed from the consent agenda, it will be considered elsewhere on the agenda for this meeting. Prior to asking for a motion to approve the consent agenda, the mayor will ask if anyone desires to remove an item from the consent agenda for public discussion. Would anybody like to remove an item from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of October the 3rd, 2023, and the bills and payroll for the first half of October 2023. Could I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Commissioner Cox. And roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Presentations, petitions, and communications. This portion of the city council meeting is reserved for persons who desire to address the council. The Illinois Open Meetings Act mandates that the city council may not take action on comments received on matters that have not been identified on this agenda. But the council may direct staff to address the topic or refer the matter for action on the agenda for another meeting. Persons addressing the council are requested to limit their presentations to 3 minutes to avoid repetitious comments. We would also ask you to state your name and address for the record, as well as stand when speaking. Would anybody in the audience like to address the council? We only got in family. You guys? All right. Anybody online would like to address the council? I see that we have just one person. John shaking his head no. Okay, so he's not going to say anything, at least right now. Okay, next item we have, we're going to acknowledge the retirement of Jason Cobb with more than 24 years of service with the city at the police department. That will occur on October the 23rd, 2023. Sam, what would you like to say?
Jason's been with us for well longer than I've been there, about 24 years, retiring out as the captain. I've got a great group of captains, and Jason was one of them. It makes my job easy. It really does. Got probably one of the more interesting personal backgrounds off duty. He flies, he's been some places flying Blackhawks, right?
Blackhawks, UAVs, OH-58s, LUH-72s, and managing all the fleet of UAVs for the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Wow.
Been some places, flown a few neat things. So, but that started our drone program. Got us going on it and was in charge of the soccer team. So we're fortunate to have him, and I think he's looking forward to retiring.
Would you like to make a speech?
Yeah.
Come up to, first of all, come up to the podium. I got something for you.
Boy, now you're.
Say anything, this is your chance.
I got to just keep fighting the good fight. That's good. And take it easy on Sam with the safety advocate test. He's gonna need it.
Something else you needed help with. Safety. Okay, so come up here. I've got a plaque for you. It says, presented to Jason Cobb in appreciation of service to the city of Matthews the year 1990.
So it's fine.
Cameron, you're gonna come up. Yeah. What else you gonna do? Oh, he's gonna do it? Oh, you're gonna.
Both of you.
So, here, I'm suffering to, don't come up. You're one of his. One of the times, Susan's gonna jump up on the table. Okay, so we'll, here, you like it. There you go. All right. You got it. Appreciate it. No, you didn't. No.
What's your retirement plans?
Well, pre-game employment as a first officer with Air Wisconsin, flying CRJ 200s all over the United States.
Very good. Very impressive. Excellent.
50-seat aircraft.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to be around too much because I know it happened to my house too, by the way, just so you know, your wife won't want you there all the time anyway. Yeah. Yeah, your daughters may, but your wife's not going to want you home all the time. So that's good. So, okay, great. Anything else you might? Okay.
If I could, thank you to your family as well for your service as well, because I know it's you give up a lot with husband, dad going to work every day. We appreciate you as well. So best of luck to you all.
Any other comments you have? Okay. Let's see. Next item is New business.
Okay. I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2023-5473, authorizing the execution of agreement with Mattoon Sports Complex, Inc., an Illinois not-for-profit corporation, and authorizing certain other actions in connection with the development of the economic development area and including the sports facility, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to sign the retailer's occupation taxes rebate and economic incentive agreement.
Can I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Mr. Cox. And any comments?
So I would just say this is like kind of like setting up the TIF district and the business district that we've already done for the sports complex area, redevelopment areas. And so this is, authorizing us to set up that development area. It is the same outline as our TIF district. So it's trying to make it easy for everyone to understand that it is same area as the TIF district. It is, specifying that we are going to give back 1.5%, which is what we talked about early on with the development of this. So there's not been any change on that, on new developments in that particular area. Again, the incentive agreement is not going to be signed right away, but it is substantially complete. There may be a little few word tweaks when we get closer to bonding. The bonding company may want some little word tweaks, but the 1.5% isn't going to change or anything like that. So no monetary changes or anything. It just would be some cleanup work to match anything that the bonding council would want. It will come back to us again later, one more time, as we do the final incentive improvement for phase 2. We had an agreement for phase 1 that spelled out the business district tax. With phase 2, we're doing some business district tax. We're doing the TIF district property tax rebates. This 1.5%, and I'm assuming it'll talk about the 2% service fee as well. That on the new businesses, that is what we're not in charge of, but the developers would be in charge of out there. So. With that, we also have John with IRR on the line. If you have any questions for him, or John, if there's anything else that you think needs to be pointed out, feel free.
No, Kyle, I think you did a great job of overall summarizing. This is a second or third step, so to speak, toward phase 2. And Mayor, commissioners, happy to answer any questions. But like Kyle said, we will be back with a number of other measures before we're ready to actually go issue bonds for phase 2. But we're laying the foundation and groundwork, just like that foundation is literally being laid for the indoor sports complex. We're laying the foundation for the financial structure for phase 2, and hope to be back to you soon to kick that off.
Any other questions anybody has? Clarification, anybody? Okay, hearing no more questions, we'll have roll call on this item.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
I make a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-3264, authorizing an agreement between the city of Mattoon and Clearwater Service Corporation to provide water to Cook's Mills, and authorizing the mayor and city clerk to sign the agreement.
Can I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments or questions about this item?
I would just say that the prior agreement was effective October 30th, 2012. The 10-year agreement, so it has expired. Just recently, Clearwater acquired the Cook's Mills Water Association. And we have a backup agreement, so if they need water as a backup, this is the agreement that will cover it. And we have changed the term to coincide with the Clearwater agreement, and changed the rates from inside city limit rates to outside city limit rates.
Okay. Okay, any other comments, questions anybody has? Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Graven. Yes. Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. And
Mo-
go ahead.
What?
I was going to say, this is going to be a test, if we can get all these terminology down. Okay, so go ahead.
Take full applause after I'm done. Motion to approve council decision request 2023-2422, awarding the October 2023, April 2024 water treatment plant chemical bids to Usalco for alum at 26.4 cents per pound, Brentag Mid-South for ammonium sulfate at 64.2 cents per pound, Airgas Mid-America for carbon dioxide at 11 cents per pound, Polydyne Incorporated for cationic polymer at $1.09 per pound, Brentag Mid-South for chlorine at 98.35 cents per pound, Water Solutions Unlimited for fluoride at 39 cents per pound, Water Solutions Unlimited for sodium permanganate at $1.34 per pound, and Water Solutions Unlimited for phosphate blend at $1.04 per pound.
Very good job.
Good job.
Second on that,
Second.
Commissioner Cox, and any comments about any of these rates?
I'll just say really quickly, those are all the chemicals we use at the water treatment plant, except for lime and activated carbon. We stopped bidding lime because we found out we could get a better price by paying the board price each day that we ordered in lieu of having them formalize a bid for a 6-month period. And then powdered activated carbon, we get better quality by getting price quotes from select vendors. And that's the next item on the agenda.
Okay.
Dean, when we did this October of last year, they went up about 30%. Is that market softening a little bit?
Yeah, the price is down a little bit this time. We're still up about 16% over a couple of years ago.
Yeah, good job. Thank you.
All right, roll call.
Commissioner Phipps,
Yes.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes.
Motion to approve council decision request 2023-2423, waiving the formal bidding requirement and approving the price quote in the amount of $36,482 at $1.45 per pound from Danyal Carbon for our water treatment plant, powdered activated carbon and lime.
Second on that motion.
I'll second. Can't
Commissioner Gray-
have all the.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Commissioner Graven did that second, and any comments on this one? You just kind of explained everything before. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Clausen.
Yes.
Commissioner Cox.
Yes.
Commissioner Graven.
Yes.
Commissioner Phipps.
Yes.
Mayor Hall.
Yes. Next, we have department reports. And we start with City Administrator Kyle Gilden.
Not a lot. The mayor and Alex and I went out to Chicago last week for a trade show on Tuesday with the ICSC, which is the International Council of Shopping Centers. We were out there. Rural King had a booth. Emerald Acres was there with the booth. We were on the side of the booth for the city, and it was very good. Expo, basically. We talked to a lot of different cities. We talked to a lot of retailers, a lot of different brokers. Rural King had a good set of meetings that they had already scheduled, so we got to meet a lot of the different retailers that they're talking to, and they all seem to be very excited about Mattoon and the sports complex, as well as other cities and brokers. So that was good. Working on our property and casualty insurance with Greg Smith from Diamond Brothers and Jessica Steiner. It's going to be higher, of course. I think a lot of the insurances are going up, but the trend seems to be going up. But I think they're working hard to get us a good competitive price on that. So look forward to seeing that in the next couple of days, and I'll be sharing that with you. And really, that's it. Just business as usual. Lots of little phone calls, complaints here and there. Wanting sidewalks, wanting curbs, wanting something. So
Right.
just talking to people, and we also had Class E here this morning. They came through and met with the mayor and I and talked a lot about the form of government and everything from there to the sports complex to any questions they had. So it was a good day.
Okay, any questions for Kyle? Next is City Attorney Dan Jones.
The other thing I wanted to mention tonight is Brown Shoe. We had city court yesterday. We were supposed to have a hearing on that. I don't know if anybody's been by it lately. They're still trying to salvage and it's going slowly, and we're going to try and encourage them to go a little faster. Steve Sudkamp and I were. But the project manager didn't show, and he called me later in the day, and I was with someone, couldn't talk to him, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him today. I will call him this week to try and get that moving a little faster. We're a little concerned about it's more open now, and worried about what's going to go on in there here and whether we can speed this up before it gets pulled out. So the judge did reschedule the hearing for next month. It's November 13. And like I said, I'll talk to him this month, and happy to talk to anybody afterwards if they want me to.
I don't know if it would do any good, Dan, but is this something that the city needs to restrict access to the public somehow, whether a snow fence or, again, I don't know if it'd do any good, but I think you nailed it with winter coming. People see that as a place.
Tough area, and I don't know if those guys would think it's feasible or not, but I don't know. It's short of erecting a fence all the way around it. I don't know if there's much to be done. But yeah, we want to keep kids and squatters out of there if at all possible. That's
Okay, any other questions?
Getting the fences, I don't know where, we've got barricades, but I don't know. I don't have fence. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe up a porch or anything that could go up or.
Honestly, I don't think it's our responsibility. I think it should be put on.
Push it
On the contractor.
Should be agreed to from them if we had to take any action
Well,
to.
at some point, we can have to go on the property and clean it ourselves, and it would be a lien on the property, but that would be a huge cost, and I don't think we want to incur that. We want to keep encouraging them to do it themselves, but at the same time, it needs to come down.
Right.
And,
And I think if they can fence off at least the immediate area right around the building, I think that would be, that's something we'll push in court.
Do we know, is the guy still living there that was supposed to be doing it, living in the back in that, whatever it is, trailer or?
There's a trailer back there, right? I've been in the back. There's a trailer of some kind back. I don't know if he's been there or just working.
Still
out.
one man show as far as
There's been like 3 people there, but he just hires local
yeah, it's really slow.
people. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions for Dan? City Clerk, Susan O'Brien.
Kyle and I met with the insurance broker. We had an interesting proposal for a fully insured consideration. We're just looking at that, and we'll be meeting with another insurance provider tomorrow to see what they actually have to say. Otherwise, been gearing up for various employee benefit enrollments and preparing paperwork for upcoming retirements for some of our employees. Otherwise, business as usual.
We do. Any questions for Beth? I mean, not Beth, next. Susan O'Brien, any questions? Okay, next we got Finance. Beth
I
Wright.
have the September financial report. General fund revenues to date, 10.98. Expenditures of 10.19 million. Leaving revenue over expenditures of 792,279.31. The dollar change column with comparison to the prior year. Property taxes are a big variance. It's because we received taxes September 28th of 2022 versus October 6th of 2023. Other revenues is another big variance. We received ARPA money in September of 2022. The benefits is primarily benefits and debt and transfers, primarily property taxes that would be transferred, the pension funds in the library, and the other expenditures includes the ARPA. the spending last year for, radios, I believe. Cash position at the end of September, 26.3 million overall versus 26.2 the month prior. In the dollar change column, you can see that the TIP payments came out of Midtown TIP in September, and the Broadway East TIP, the TIP payments as well as the improvements to the pickleball courts. Next, I have revenue tracking, major sources of revenue. And you can see the lower right-hand corner, we're up compared to the prior year by $54,336. So we are ahead, slightly ahead. Unrestricted cash in the general fund is up today 12.2 million, and 2 weeks ago it was 11.4. So we have received some of the shared revenues in the interim. The property taxes, we received, the general fund received in October 6th, $1,849,000. And so to date, we've received $4.422 million. And the amount levied was $5,256,000. So there'll be one more installment. I did this morning receive the municipal compliance report from the fire pension, from the actuaries, and statutory minimum between both funds is just over $4.8 million, whereas the recommended contribution is just over $5.6 million. And the increase in the recommended contribution is about $244,000 over last year. And one thing that we did last year was I just used the entire levy to fund the pensions. And so for each fund, we were $365,000 over the recommended contribution. I'm hoping this year that we can make the recommended contribution, maybe a little bit over, but we're not going to do anything near what we did this year. And that's all, unless there are questions, that's all I have.
Okay. Next is Public Works, Dean Barber.
Todd Fuller's crew just finished putting the signs on the bike trail extension from 10th to the 16th Street, so that job is complete. Nico Asphalt started the repairs to the bike trail between here and Charleston that were caused by damage from hammering. They're doing a really nice job. They started on our side and they're working their way towards Charleston. And we finally have the roadway plans for the sports complex finished and submitted to IDOT. They were submitted yesterday. The plans and specifications possible from that. And so they're sitting in front of IDOT for review, which typically takes 6 to 8 weeks, and then be ready to go out for bids. That's all I have to report unless there's any questions.
Any questions anybody has? You comment on the extension of the bike path from the hotels. You submitted the drawings on those.
We got drawings from Upchurch. I reviewed those and sent comments back to them. At this point, we're still waiting on the right of way to be signed over to us from Borough King, and then we will start doing environmental reviews. But yes, the plans are mostly complete.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions for Dean? Chief Jeff Hilligoss, Fire Department.
Thank you. Jason, congratulations. It was a pleasure working with you over the last 20 plus years. Wish you the best in your next endeavor. My guys answered 103 calls for service since the last meeting. Inspectors have done 4 inspections. It was Fire Prevention Week has basically turned into Fire Prevention Month, so the guys have been busy doing a lot of show and tells. They've done 2 different touch a truck events and 2 different school show and tells. They also finished all their school state mandatory fire alarm drills. They got those all wrapped up today. And then they did the hands-on night drill training last week. That is about all I've got, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Any questions? Okay, that's easy. Chief Gaines, Mattoon Police Department.
Calls for service the last 2 weeks, knock on wood, are down 848 calls for service, so that's a good thing. Hope they stay that way. My guys are having their quarterly training this month too for our night shoot, our night training. Good month to be slow on calls, so. We had testing this Saturday to establish a new hiring list. 12 people took out applications, 11 showed up, and 10 passed. So, well, they passed the physical. I don't know about the written yet. I'll get results from it soon, but seems to be the way it's going is you'll get about 12 applicants, whereas you used to have 40, 50. So I think that's just how it is now. But anyway, luckily we're not hiring anyway. We're good. Just establishing a list. So some good young men on it. Happy to see who did apply. Pork chop supper this Friday. Reminder, everyone's invited, Dan. I don't think I ever sent you an email. I'm certainly invited, as much as we have to call you for subpoenas or whatnot. But you. But yeah, it's this Friday, and I think that's all I've got.
Any questions for Chief Gaines? All right, Arts and Tourism, Angelia Brigette.
We hosted Temple Grandin last week. She was at Lakeland College, and we had around, I want to say about 200 folks who came out and bought tickets to be there, be a part of that event. It's part of the community part of the Celebrity Creatives. And then we had an overflow at Lakeland for students to see her for free. There was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of folks standing in line to meet her. And so that was a cool event. Then she met with LIV students and some LIV teachers on Friday morning and then left. And it's the end of our Celebrity Creatives for this year. We expect to have one very large event next year, which I can't tell you yet because it's not done. It's exciting. It's exciting. So it's been a very good process. This whole idea of Celebrity Creatives is connecting people to the community who otherwise wouldn't have time with the students. So it's been a really good thing. Julia's done a great job with that. The Holiday Artisan Sale has moved to 2 days in the Cross County Mall. It's on November 25th and 26th. It is currently full and people are going on wait list. So as far as vendors, I'm working on Lightworks. We just announced this week our walkthrough and so the regular schedule. We already have over 4,000 people already interested in the walkthrough, so I expect big things out of that. And working with the Jones family on the Santa Hut, which is a part of the Lightworks season. That's it.
Very good. I did attend the presentation at Lakeland College. And I've never really attended anything like that before in my life. A lady that is autistic, has a PhD in cattle, has written books, has a movie. She just says it like it is. I've never, she dresses very uniquely too, like a cowboy outfit. But it was quite interesting to hear her speak about those things and say so outward about her autistic life and how she understands things and communicates and really different. I wouldn't have thought of something like that coming from Arts and Tourism, but it was again, it was a good show.
Well, we've had a connection to her previously, but she also has a very creative approach about, as you're kind of referring to, how different people learn and how they think differently. And that's kind of her motto about the way she is obviously brilliant in some ways, but has trouble with, like, she doesn't really count change, things like that. So it is a creative thing to be thinking about the way people think differently and how they can be successful. definitely no holds bar.
Okay, any other questions? Community development? Alex Midnick.
Yeah, so we're working on 2 trail systems, Lake Paradise, and pretty much the loops are done. We just got a little bit more to go, so we're transitioning to working on maps and signage, things like that out there. We also ran across a legal hunting line on city property, so that's fun. So we'll be addressing that very shortly. Also working on our housing stock survey. The kids out at Lakeland College are really just crushing that survey. So much so that the police came and paid them a visit while they were out there. But they had a fun time, and basically, we're on track to be completely done with this survey by the end of November, which is huge for Mattoon. Also met with William about the hospital. They've officially closed on that property, so it's theirs. So really just, they were kind of interested in, housing grants, things like that, looking into stuff. From there, we're also revising our pilot ordinance, planned unit developments. And then tomorrow and the next day, I will be in Springfield at a mandatory DCEO training so that we're able to get CDBG grants in the future as a municipality. Working on some OSLAD grant revisions because IDNR put out some inaccurate guidance during the grant application for what we're doing at Lake Mattoon. So we kind of scrambled around, got that sorted and sent back to them. Working with Celebrate Downtown, and for Trunk or Treat, Pocket Park is also moving a lot of dirt. So they're going to be concreting it, not this week, next week. And ICLC feels a pretty good success for the city of Mattoon. A lot of new ideas. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Okay, last but not least is comments by the council. And we're going to start tonight with Commissioner Phipps.
Hey, congratulations. Well-deserved retirement and great career. And that's all I have.
That's all you got? Okay. And second is Commissioner Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. Jason, again, congratulations. Thank you for your service. Great career. Wish you and your family all the best. Commissioner Graven told me last meeting I spoke, I talked way too much, so that's all I have. That's all I have for this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Did that?
Sound like a personal. I think that was going to be directed at me, but.
Personal attack, wasn't it?
Wow.
You gotta have thick skin in this game, so it's all right.
All right. So, all right, it's your turn, Commissioner Graven.
Congratulations, Jason. Look forward to continue working with you on CCLA. And other than that, I don't have anything else.
Okay. And next would be Commissioner Clausen.
Thank you, Mayor.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Sorry. Second?
I'm timing you, Jim.
Weigh in, Dan.
Okay, you got the floor.
Just reiterate, thank you for 24 years of service. Well deserved. The campground's rather closed this past Sunday. We have already got all the contracts signed for the next season, which begins April 15th of next year and goes through October 15th. And those 101 campsites generate $188,000 to the city. So I met with John. We've also rented out 67 docks, brings us roughly $17,000, and with all the boat stickers. So those 3 sources of revenue, notwithstanding anything that's sold at the marina, brings us about $300,000 just from those 3 sources. So, and we were out there, Alex, last Saturday, an IDNR called about the complaints about public hunting on that property. So talked to Kyle about it. I don't know, you can signage yourself to death, but we'll figure out a way to enforce that. The only other thing I have, Dean, if you get a chance, the sidewalk leading up to the elevator, the handicapped entrance has got some pretty significant trip fall hazards. So if you can maybe look at it and get it out to the street department, somebody to repair, for people using wheelchairs and walkers and canes. So it's right there. It's right there on the north side as that entrance leads to the elevator. And, you know, those short few words, that's all I have, Mayor.
You did a fine job tonight.
So are you talking about the St. Honey line?
Yes, yes.
I didn't know about it. I think they called DNR.
Yeah, I basically gave them a copy of the video I took
Uh-huh.
in a fashion. And
Same one.
I'm gonna take care of it.
Okay.
It's going bye-bye because it's on our property. It shouldn't be there. Tomorrow it's gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Last is me. I got just a couple quick things. Class E, I know Kyle already mentioned that. The young students from Mattoon High School did a great job. And they asked good questions. Kyle dominated the conversation, of course, with all the details. Every time I'd say something, he'd say, that's wrong, and he'd correct me. But that was all right. Kids liked it. Big improvement on Broadway this last week. The last building on Broadway on 19th Street is no longer, it's got actually a concrete wall. It doesn't look like it's falling in on the backside. It's been like that for many, many years. And it's finally, after all the discussion we've had for a long time, it finally looks halfway decent. We talked about ICSC in Chicago that we went to, Kyle, Alex and myself. One of the things it didn't come up so far is all the people that are talking about Mattoon. We got other communities talking about Mattoon. We got retail people talking about Mattoon. We got people that are just saying, how are you getting this stuff done? You know, you got a lot of good things going. We're hearing a lot of things about Mattoon. That's a reflection of what everybody in this room does. All the department heads, all the commissioners that support these things. But I'd say we were the most talked about group there. So that's a big deal. And I did break into sort of Mattoon Dunkin' Donuts. I drove through illegally and asked a construction worker if I could get a donut, and he didn't give me one, but I did get to meet the manager. And they did say that this is important to the police department, the donut shop will be open supposedly in 2 weeks. Now, that's what he says. So you ought to line up the guy, right, to get donuts.
The discount?
I don't know. I don't know how it works in the police department. I just know everybody in the police department likes donuts.
All I got to say is, in Holy Moly, it was the fire department I saw lined up.
Really?
I know the fire department there one morning. Yeah, that's.
Is this a change?
Fire department was lined up at Holy Moly.
You know, they got the time.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
You got a gavel, babe. You got a gavel.
All right. Order. Okay, now, last item.
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn. Okay, can we have a second?
I will second that motion.
Second, all right. Roll call.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Raven?
Yes.
Mr. Phipps?
Yes.
Mr. Plunkett?
Yes.
Mayor Hall?
Yes.
That will end the
Meeting
meeting.
adjourned.
I thought